So please accept my humble obeisances. We'll begin with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshur-unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavanda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramanandam Madhavam. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we will continue our journey of study of Sri Brahma Samhita. Let me share my screen. Okay, we go. So far, I think we have finished up to the text 37, in which that was one of the very beautiful shlokas what we read, and it was so sweet that it kind of became one of my favorite shlokas, and that was what we learned last time. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavis Tabhirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalavi Golok Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindam ādi-puruṣaṁ ahaṁ bhajāmi. So this is a very sweet narration of how Lord Krishna with Radhā-Rañjana and other gopis is having very beautiful pastimes in Golok Vrindavan. And that Govinda, Brahmaji is saying that he is offering his obeisances. Then further in the next shloka, what we are going to read today. So it says, premāñjana-cchurita-bhakti-vilocanena santaḥ sadaiva hṛdayeṣu vilokayanti śyāmasundaram acintya-guṇa-svarūpaṁ govindam ādi-puruṣaṁ ahaṁ bhajāmi. So here Brahmaji is saying that I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Śyāmasundara, or Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, acintya-guṇa-svarūpaṁ, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. Premāñjana-cchurita-bhakti-vilocanena. Actually, I had so many reflections when I read this verse last time, and then some realizations probably I will share today. But we have a short purport. Can I get a volunteer who can read this purport and then we can discuss quickly?
I can read it.
Yes, Mataji, whoever said. Please go ahead.
Okay. Hare Krishna. The Śyāmasundara form of Krishna in his inconceivable, simultaneous personal and impersonal, self-contradictory form. True devotees see that form in their purified hearts under the influence of devotional trance. The form Śyāma is not the blue color visible in the mundane world, but is the transcendental, variegated color affording eternal bliss, and is not visible to the mortal eye. On a consideration of the trance of sadaiva, as in the shloka, Bhakti Yojana, Manasi, etc. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.4, it will be clear that the form of Sri Krishna is the full personality of Godhead and can only be visible in the heart of a true devotee, which is the only true seat in the state of trance under the influence of devotion. When Krishna manifested himself in Vraja, both the devotees and non-devotees saw him with this very eye, but only the devotees cherished him. Eternally sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Only the non-devotees saw him. Yeah, continue.
Eternally present in Vraja, as the priceless jewel of their heart. Nowadays, also the devotees see him in Vraja, in their hearts, saturated with devotion, although they do not see him with their eyes. The eye of devotion is nothing but the eye of the pure, unalloyed, spiritual self of the jiva. The form of Krishna is visible to that eye in proportion to its purification by the practice of devotion. When the devotion of the neophyte reaches the stage of bhava bhakti, the pure eye of the devotee is tinged with the salve of love by the grace of Krishna, which enables him to see Krishna face to face. The phrase in their hearts means Krishna is visible in proportion as their hearts are purified by the practice of devotion. The sum and substance of this shloka is that the form of Krishna, who is Śyāmasundara, Nattavara, best dancer, Murlidhara, holder of the flute, and Tribhanga, triple bending, is not a mental concoction but is transcendental and is visible with the eye of the soul of the devotee under trance.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So I'll stop.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is again another very beautiful verse, and this is actually what Prabhupada has given us at the highest realization of Krishna consciousness. That's what I was thinking. And you know what? Can I request you to come out of your impersonal feature and I can see in the personal feature start your videos so that I can have some interaction, if at all possible. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So I'll ask one question. What is the very first? You all have read Bhagavad Gita, or you all have seen Bhagavad Gita, or we have the copy of Bhagavad Gita. What is the very first verse that appears in the book of Bhagavad Gita?
Amaka Pandava.
Dharmakhetre Kurukshetra.
Kurukshetra.
No, in the book Bhagavad Gita as it is.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya, that one.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. So one day I was worshipping our Radhā-Rañjana, actually on the morning of Radha-Ashtami, and I had realization that the Krishna consciousness, many times that question has been asked to me, what is Krishna consciousness? And every time I probably has given completely different answer, and it was still appropriate for the context. But for the devotees, the Krishna consciousness that Prabhupada has given us is very high. And it starts with Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Because Guru, by mercy of Guru, our eyes are anointed with knowledge. Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam. So our eyes are anointed with knowledge, and that with that knowledge, our eyes are open, then our journey of knowledge or study starts. And that's why when Prabhupada mentions that Bhagavad Gita is the elementary study of spiritual understanding. We start with Bhagavad Gita and then we jump to other scriptures, particularly Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita and so on. So that journey has to start by mercy of Guru, and particularly for us, by mercy of Prabhupada and his disciples. Because Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samarvata, that he is not revealed to everyone. He is covered by, or we are covered by his potency of Yoga Maya. And that's why we cannot see Krishna. But when by mercy of Guru, our eyes are open, that knowledge, and that's what our journey, that's where our journey starts of getting this knowledge. And by this knowledge, then eventually we get purified. Our hearts are purified. And then as our hearts are purified, then we engage in the pious activities and we engage in slowly devotional service of Krishna. And then Krishna says, Esham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam drudavrata. How? Drudavrata. So eventually, by mercy of Guru and by mercy of Krishna, when our all sinful reactions, sinful activities are completely eradicated. Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam, and then we engage only in the pious activities. Then we engage in Krishna's loving devotional service with full determination. Drudavrata. Or as even in the Bhagavatam says, tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta puruṣaṁ param. That tivrata, that determination comes only after our knowledge, as we grow in our knowledge, as we start learning about how Krishna is great and what kind of knowledge that we learn and how we apply in that our daily life and become more and more Krishna conscious. So that's where our journey of Krishna consciousness starts with Om Ajnana-Timirandasya. And eventually, when we develop full faith in Guru, Shastra, and Bhagavan, and then as Bhagavatam says, Tasshraddhadana munayo jnana vairagya yuktaya, that when our Shraddha becomes completely, when we have staunch Shraddha, when we have full faith in Shastra, then jnana vairagya yuktaya, with knowledge and detachment, we are completely, with that knowledge, we get detachment, then pashyanti atmani chatmanam bhaktya shruta gruhitaya. Pashyanti, we can start seeing Bhagavan as he is. Pashyanti chatmani atmanam. How? Bhaktya, by just devotion, not by any other means, only by loving devotional service. Bhaktya shruta gruhitaya. And how is that bhakti? Shruta gruhitaya, shruti. Just the knowledge that we have received from the Shruti, from the Vedic literature. Shruta gruhitaya. When we accept the knowledge that is coming from Krishna himself in the form of Shruti, which is given to us by Vedavyas, who is none other than Krishna himself, Krishna's incarnation, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, then we can start seeing Krishna. And then Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sadaiva bhajāmi ahaṁ. So as our surrender, as our degree of surrender increases, we surrender more and more. Krishna reveals to himself to us more and more. And then we start understanding about Krishna, and slowly that bhava bhakti, as we read in the purport, that bhava develops. And when that bhava develops, and eventually when we come to today's verse, premāñjana-cchurita-bhakti-vilocanena, that our eyes, which were anointed with knowledge first by Guru, and they were opened, when those eyes, with mercy of Guru, Krishna, Shastra, and our endeavor, become anointed with not only Jnananjana now, but with premāñjana, that is completely filled with love for Krishna, then that time comes that premāñjana-cchurita-bhakti-vilocanena santaḥ sadaiva hṛdayeṣu vilokayanti. Sadaiva. They start seeing Krishna every time, all the time within their heart, not only within their heart, but everywhere. Whatever they see, they can relate to Krishna. And what form of Krishna? Not Paramatma form at that point. Because even though Krishna is in everybody's heart as Paramatma, but when our eyes are anointed with love for him, then the form what we see in our heart also is śyāmasundaram acintya-guṇa-svarūpaṁ govindam ādi-puruṣaṁ tamaham bhajāmi. That śyāmasundara form is revealed, the Tribhanga form, that bent in three form, holding flute, peacock feather on his head, with pitambara, that Shama Varna, that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in the purport, that Shama, or the bluish or blackish color is not the mundane bluish or blackish color in the material world that we see. It's the transcendental color that it is revealed to us only when we have love for Krishna. And that love we can get only by our eagerness. As Rupa Goswami says, the laulyam tu ekamulyam. To get Krishna, we can purchase Krishna. But only what we need to have is we need to be greedy. We need to be very, very desperate to see Krishna. And then Krishna reveals himself to us. And that Krishna, actually Prabhupada shares a very beautiful story, one of the stories in some lectures. So he shares one story where there was some professional Bhagavatam reciter who was giving a class on the Bhagavatam in Bhagavad Saptaha. And there was a thief who somehow or other was in the audience. And then in the past times, when the Bhagavatam speaker was narrating the story of Krishna's Leela in Vrindavan, so he was telling Krishna's childhood pastimes, where he mentioned that, oh, Krishna was a young boy who has lots of golden ornaments on his body, and he is decorated with very beautiful jewels and very precious ornaments and gold ornaments and decorated on his body. And then he goes to Vrindavan to with the cows and some very young cowherd boys. And that when the thief was hearing that story, he thought, okay, this boy Krishna, if he is so young and he has so much gold ornaments on his body, it may be easy for me to rob him. So he then decided, oh, I want to see Krishna now. I want to see that boy. And he went to Vrindavan. So that boy went to, that thief went to Vrindavan, and somehow or other he was wandering here and there, but he was desperately looking for Krishna. He's very, very eager to see that young boy Krishna, full of golden ornaments and jewels on his whole body. And no wonder what, he was so eager that he saw Krishna the way he wanted to see him. And he saw that boy and he kind of started following him, and somehow or other made friendship with him, with Krishna. And then he asked him, oh Krishna, you are such a young boy, you have so many golden ornaments, why don't you give me some of those? He was trying to cheat him, but Krishna is smart. He said, no, I don't want to give you, otherwise my mother will be angry on me. So Krishna is trying to and he didn't want to do any harm to Krishna, but trying to steal him, cheat Krishna, and trying to get those ornaments from him. So that way he was every time trying to follow Krishna every day and meet him, and then somehow or other he will speak very sweet words with him and get some ornaments from him. But eventually, just by associating with Krishna, his heart changed. And then one day Krishna said, okay, take what you want from me. But at that time, he didn't want anything, because he said, now I am so pleased that I have your association. I don't want anything. So that is the qualification to see Krishna. So that eagerness has to be there. The best example that we see from the scriptures is the gopis. They are so eager to see Krishna all the time that in the dead of night, they come to see him, forgetting all their other responsibilities, all their social etiquettes, all their other things, what they may have. And they just want to see Krishna because they are so eager to see Krishna. Their love for Krishna, even though they may have lusty desires at that point, but the eagerness to see Krishna is such a strong that they don't care for anything, and they come in the dead of night to see Krishna. So that eagerness is required to Krishna. That love that has to be developed in the hearts of Krishna, in our hearts, in the devotee, so that they become eligible to Krishna. And that is what the highest level of Krishna consciousness that Prabhupada has given. That's what I had that realization. So Krishna consciousness in the highest form that Prabhupada has given us is the journey from the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvenam. So it's the journey that begins with when our spiritual master opens our eyes with that knowledge, with the anointment of knowledge. So from there to premāñjana-cchurita-bhakti-vilocanena santaḥ sadaiva hṛdayeṣu vilokayanti yam śyāmasundaram acintya-guṇa-svarūpaṁ govindam ādi-puruṣaṁ ahaṁ bhajāmi. So from jnananjana shalakya, opening our eyes with knowledge, to those eyes get anointed with strongest love for Krishna, premāñjana-cchurita-bhakti-vilocanena, so that we don't see anything but Krishna everywhere, and in everything we see Krishna. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 6th chapter, that Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sa cha me na pranashyati. That one who sees me everywhere and everything and sees everything in me, for him I am never lost and he is never lost to me. So that type of love, when we somehow or other develop for Krishna, then we will always see Krishna everywhere in our heart, as well as everywhere outside whatever we see. So I think I will stop there. I just wanted to share that realization. We still have a few minutes, so I wanted to get few realizations from you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thanks, Prabhuji. It's very beautiful when you're saying about that small boy was asking Krishna's jewelries. Now, sometimes I'll think that I want to take Krishna to the somewhere in my car to give him some pani puri or something. Whenever I don't know why I want to give him pani puri for Krishna to take him outside.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's very nourishing, Prabhuji. It's very nice. So you come. I mean, how important it's about open a guru. Guru is telling about the Krishna, so that way in our hearts, the full of constantly remembering Krishna. Even though the whole day we are busy, but somewhat, we need to smaran his name. Whatever possible time.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you.
Very Prabhu. Yeah.
Harival Prabhuji, Namat Pranam. Please
Yeah.
accept my humble.
Very beautiful realization from Jnananjana to premāñjana.
Yeah. That's Krishna consciousness Prabhupada has given us.
Yeah. So very nice connection you made. Just wanted to add here that person, until he meets a guru, his eyes are blinded.
Mhm.
So even though we may have eyes, but as that verse says, Jnananjana Shalakaya, using that surgical instrument, he removes Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Mama Jnana Timirandhasya. Andhasya, we are actually blinded.
Yes.
So either blinded, so blind person cannot see anything. There's no question of seeing Krishna.
Mhm.
And this verse is actually speaking about santaḥ sadaiva hṛdayeṣu vilokayanti. So how can a santa or devotee see Krishna always in the heart if he is blinded?
Mhm.
So that blindness has to go away, and that is the job of Guru.
Yes.
When Guru removes the blindness, then actually we can develop love, and then only we can see Krishna.
Thank you, Guru.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful connection.
Very well. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji, I agree completely. That was a really nice realization you had to. And what I was thinking that, to get that kind of a bhava bhakti or that kind of love, we need to come to the Radhā-Rañjana stage. And until we don't come to that stage, actually bhakti even don't start. So somehow or other in our day-to-day routine, if we somehow are able to always ready to serve for Krishna, if we can come to that level of service for Krishna, then eventually Krishna will please us, and we will start get some bhakti by the mercy of Guru. So otherwise, if we simply perform on the sadhana bhakti, then that it's probably it will take some more time. So thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have a small question. So, we some non-devotees doesn't believe in the. I mean, they don't have gurus, but they believe in Krishna. So, how they open their eyes and how they can see the narration of the Krishna, Prabhuji?
So, depending on their eagerness to see Krishna, depending on their devotion to Krishna, because even though sometimes I see I don't need Guru, I can deal directly with Krishna. People, I have heard saying that. But then, are they really eager to see that Krishna, or are they really devotees of Krishna? And if they have that real desire, so Krishna is in our heart. Krishna is our Chaitya Guru. So Krishna then makes an arrangement for us so that we can meet Guru. We can meet appropriate Guru and who can reveal us. So Krishna acts as a Chaitya Guru, and then he then makes arrangement that we can meet Guru, and then that through that Guru's mercy, Krishna is revealed to us.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
There is one line, Prabhu, in the purport which I says that the eye of a devotion is nothing but the eye of the pure, unalloyed spiritual self of the jiva. I'm trying to understand pure, unalloyed spiritual self of the jiva.
So the eye of devotion is nothing but the eye of pure, unalloyed spiritual self of jiva. So the eye of devotion. So jiva is originally, as we hear, jivere swarupahe nitya Krishna das. So our original nature is eternal servant of Krishna, and that eternal service is by devotion. So when we say that what we are working for is self-realization. So when we have that self-realization that our original nature is not this material body, or we have nothing to do in reality with this material world. We are a spiritual being or a jiva, and then our eternal duty in that way, in that original position, is to serve Krishna. So then that eye of devotion is developed. So that eye of devotion is nothing but the eye of pure, unalloyed spiritual self or jiva. Because in that state, when we are completely self-realized, then we see Krishna as our loving master. And then we develop the loving relationship with him. So that's why it is said that the eye of devotional is nothing but the eye of pure, unalloyed self of jiva, the spiritual jiva.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So
I think this particular statement is also correlated to what Bhagavatam says, mukti hitva anyatha rupam sarupena vyavastihi. So the real meaning of mukti is to actually be situated in one's constitutional position. Mukti hitva anyatha rupam. To give up anyatha rupam, the illusory understanding about ourselves, is actually mukti. So, and what is that anyatha rupam? Anyatha rupam is to identify with the body. Because the actual Swarupa is, we are eternal servants of Krishna. So when a person is situated in that state, and he can see himself or herself as, eternal servant of Krishna, that is actually the pure state. Any other state, even identifying oneself with impersonal Brahman, is nothing but anyatha-rūpaṁ. It's actually driven by the desire, which is hatred towards the form of the Lord. Because we don't want to see the Lord enjoying. We want to, either want to enjoy ourselves, or we want to have no enjoyment for anyone. So impersonal concept is also nothing but driven more or less because of envy towards the Lord. We don't want to see the Lord enjoying. So therefore, that's also not actually the pure eye. The pure eye is actually the eye of the devotee.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you very much, Radhā-Rañjana Prabhu.
So, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, dear devotees. And we will continue this class. I definitely want to plan to. So sorry for the gap what we had for some time, but let's continue this.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
So much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
I have a small question, Shankaranand Prabhuji. I have a small question. So every Wednesday, this Zoom ID or any other ID?
I think Bhagavad Gita only we use every Wednesday.
We'll use the same Zoom ID.
Actually, in the group description, there is another one. Prabhu, you can
Another
stop
one.
recording.